All right, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the City of Belvedere Planning Commission for Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. Members of the public will be able to participate in person or remotely via Zoom. Please be advised that those participating in the meeting remotely via Zoom do so at their own risk. The City Hall council chambers are open to members of the public. I see one member of the public here tonight. At each meeting, the public has the opportunity to address the planning commission on items appearing on the agenda and on items not appearing on the agenda in the open forum. I'd like to open it up to the open forum. This is an opportunity for any citizen to briefly address the Planning Commission on any items appearing on this agenda that are not agendized for discussion. Upon being recognized by the chair, please state your name and limit your oral statement to no more than 3 minutes. Any matters that appear to warrant a lengthier presentation or commission consideration will be agendized for further discussion at a later meeting. Are there any members of the public who wish to participate in the open forum? Is there anyone on Zoom?
There are no hands raised and no one on Zoom.
All right, excellent. I would like to turn to reports. Are there any reports from staff or from my other commission members?
I'll do a quick report on the housing element. The city council approved the second reading of the zoning ordinance amendments, and we submitted the revised housing element to HCD on December 9th, I think. And so we anticipate having a letter from HCD prior to February 9th, which is the 60-day limit. We're hoping that we
have we gotten any feedback, or do we anticipate?
We hope we don't get any feedback and that we receive a certification letter. We've had a lot of feedback in the past couple of years.
Yes. All right. Are there any other reports from staff? All right, excellent. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to the consent calendar. And on the consent calendar today, we have 2 items. We have the draft minutes from our last meeting of November 18th. And then we also have the extension of design review approval application for the property at 43 Peninsula. This is an extension from the design review approval from December 12th, 2023, which has already been extended once. Does anyone on the commission wish to take either of these off of the consent calendar?
No.
Okay, great. Shall we vote on the consent calendar? Would anyone like to make a motion?
Still not on it. I assume that we also don't have public comment on this item.
Would anyone like to make any public comment on the consent calendar?
Thank you.
Anyone on Zoom?
Still no one on Zoom.
Thank you.
Would anyone like to make a motion on the consent calendar?
I can make a motion to approve the consent calendar. Items 1 and 2.
Second. Great. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. All right, we are going to move over to public hearing portion of the meeting. This is the design review to replace an existing stone retaining wall with a concrete retaining wall, number 62 Alcatraz Avenue on Corinthian Island, as well as replace an existing fence. This is the replacement of an existing wall with a new wall in the same location. as well as raising the height of the existing wall and replacing a fence with a new fence also at the same location. Sammy, I believe you have a presentation for us.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair Watson and members of the Planning Commission. For your consideration this evening is an application for design review to replace the existing stone retaining wall and fence at 62 Alcatraz Avenue. The subject parcel is 8,200 square feet and contains a 3,100 square foot residence and attached garage. Retaining walls flank the driveway on Alcatraz Avenue, and a failing 6-foot tall wood fence runs along the left and rear property lines. The project proposes to demolish an existing 36-foot, 6-inch long stone retaining wall located to the right of the driveway and construct a new concrete retaining wall in the same location. The new retaining wall would have a maximum height of 4 feet 1 inches above existing grade, slightly taller than the existing wall. The wall would be constructed of shotcrete, a method in which concrete is sprayed over a rebar reinforced mesh. The concrete would then be finished with a smooth surface. The project proposes to replace an existing failing wood fence with a 6-foot tall vertical wood fence along the side and rear property lines as well. As designed, staff cannot recommend approval of the proposed retaining wall as the plans do not appear in substantial conformance with the design review criteria set forth in Belvidere Municipal Code sections 20.04.130 and 20.04.140 on bulk and mass and materials and colors. Under 20.04.130, large expanses of any one material, including window glazing on a single plane, should be avoided, and large single plane retaining walls should be avoided. Contrary to the existing stone retaining wall, which provides architectural variety, the 36-foot, 6-inch concrete wall would result in a large expanse of a single material on a single plane, which would be inconsistent with this criterion. Under BMC 20.04.140, materials and colors should blend within the existing landform and vegetative cover. Concrete walls and other concrete surfaces, concrete should be used in moderation. And concrete walls and other concrete surfaces should be textured, colored to match adjacent soil or plant color, or faced with wood, brick, or stone. Due to the concrete's light color and lack of texture, the wall would not blend with the existing landform and surrounding vegetation. Secondly, due to the length of the wall, the proposed material and color would not be used in moderation. And thirdly, the criterion specific to retaining walls contemplates that such structures may need to be faced with another material, such as wood, brick, or stone. Staff recommends that a condition of approval be added to clad the shotcrete wall face with stone to match, or provide a similar look to the existing stone walls found across Corinthian Island. Doing so would add architectural variety, avoid a single plane of any one material, and would blend in with the surroundings. For the Commission's consideration, staff acknowledges that a number of concrete walls exist on Corinthian Island as well. And under BMC 20.04.140, the finding could be made that the proposed concrete wall relates to and fits in with structures in the neighborhood as well. The project is exempt from CEQA, and staff recommends that the Commission adopt the resolution granting design review as conditioned. Thank you, and we are happy to answer any questions.
Thanks. I just have one question. In terms of the engineering of the wall, did you have any reservations or issues with the engineering of the wall in terms of the shotcrete and the rebar?
This was routed to our Public Works Department, and they had no, well, they approved it as conditioned.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they didn't see any issues
Okay.
with the project.
In terms of the routing, could I just ask a follow-up question about the process there? It was brought to the commission because did it start as a design proposal or it started as a failing wall which needed adjustments? How did it begin?
Yeah, it started as a design review application to replace the existing wall. It was a design review exception first. So it didn't, before it came to the planning commission, we shared the project with our planning commission chair. The planning commission chair, myself and Rebecca, we reviewed the project. We thought that having the cladding would fit the design review criteria. We reached out to the applicant and asked if that would be something that they would consider. And they asked respectfully to take the project to the planning commission for a full vote by the planning commission.
Thank you.
Okay. So I just wanted to comment that, you know, I live on Belvedere Island. I live right up the road. And, so I don't walk on Corinthian Island that often. But I did note that most of the tall walls on Corinthian Island were smooth concrete. In fact, the photos that Sammy showed were actually my photos. And you don't find that on Belvedere Island. You find that on Corinthian Island, apparently. And so I actually believe that it would be consistent with the with Corinthian Island to have the smooth concrete as opposed to the cladding, which I would not find in the if this was on Belvedere Island.
Should we continue about our opinion or discussion, or is it the applicant?
Oh, sorry.
So we'll let applicant.
Yeah, this is a time for questions for staff.
Oh,
and then
sorry.
That's okay. Then the applicant can present if you'd like to. If not, or the commissioners might have questions for the applicant. But that's the next step in
Oh.
this process, unless you guys have more questions for staff.
I do not.
So you can come to the podium if you'd like to present. I assume, yeah, they might have questions for you. But you have to go there and turn the microphone on so people on Zoom can hear you. No, but we also record it to take the minutes. So if you don't. Yeah. Perfect. There you go.
So I don't have anything to put up on the screen, but my strongest consideration is really for my neighbors and the time involved and the size of the road that's out there. It'll take us probably a week to do the shotcrete wall, to take out the wall and put a shotcrete wall in. It would probably take another 2 weeks to clad that wall with stone, and we'd have to close the road to do that. And the island just went through, you know, having it closed for the repaving, which was a good long time. But it's awkward to get around to the other side. You have to go around Eastview and then back up the other side for all the neighbors. And 3 weeks is a long time, and the benefit didn't seem to outweigh asking our neighbors to put up with that, to do a stone cladding on that wall.
Are the trucks able to park in your driveway? I note that you actually have a driveway, which is amazing on Corinthian.
Yeah. You can. It's very difficult. I have to put my car in four-wheel drive to back up that thing. And you definitely can't get out. So anybody that's up there has to, you know, you got to pull out and back up and then go forward. And it's awkward to do that. I usually, if I'm just dropping in, I'll park downtown and walk up. But yeah, it's tight. It's tight, particularly for shotcrete's one thing, but having to get all that stone material up there and set it up there and pick at pieces and grout them in, and it's and all the bags of grout and pallets. It's a lot of material to be managing in kind of a delicate way to clad that wall. So that's my resistance to doing that.
Did the neighbors have any context? Do they care? Did you talk to them about it? Was there any
I know, I have not asked the neighbors. Yeah.
Forgive me, you're the client or the builder or
No, owner of the property.
owner of the
We
property?
have tenants in it right now.
Understood.
Have you spoken to your neighbors about the new fence?
I left her a message. I can't remember her name. Her kids were over there the other day and I was talking to them. But I have not talked to the woman who owns the house. And I don't know if there's a guy too. I know that there was a woman who I haven't actually met her, but I met her kids. And we went through where we were going to put the fence.
Okay.
And actually Hanning on the other side, he's the guy that's on 78 Eastview, and he's eager to get that fence replaced too. We went through a situation with the retaining wall and the other fence a little farther down, so that's fallen over on his property right now. So we're more than happy to not have his dog walk under there. And that's all I got. Is there any questions for me?
No question from me.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
just one question. Given the context of staff not recommending and us potentially recommending, would there be any interest in your part to consult with the neighbors to see if anyone in direct connection to, like, let's say your surrounding neighbors have any issues, and if there is no issues, then to bring it back to commission, as I'm describing it, I think it's more context than it's worth, but.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that. It wouldn't be bad to talk to him. I haven't talked to him for a while. So, yeah, to go out and talk to all the neighbors and come back there.
I hate
I
to put
wouldn't
it
object
off.
to that if that was what I was asked to do.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think that's all we got for you.
Okay, so that's it.
All right. Is there any public comment?
There's no one on Zoom.
I don't see anyone else here. All right, so I think we can close public comment. All right. All right, and now we can open the discussion for the commission. All right. Now we can talk about what we think. All right.
Okay. So I would say I agree with the staff. I think that stone wall has a lot of character, and a long concrete wall would not fit within the house itself. On the left-hand side, there is that beautiful stone wall, which is, do I go?
No, so on the left-hand side is actually a giant concrete wall.
No, on the left-hand side of the driveway.
Wrapping up the wall.
For the same house we are talking about. So the same
Okay.
house on the left-hand side of the driveway has that beautiful stone. And then it has it on the right-hand side as well. And I think replacing that with concrete definitely makes that less attractive as it is now. And for that reason, I don't find it, with the character of the house itself, it adds the mass, it doesn't have the details that it has today. So,
I feel similarly. My question or my thought process is twofold. I wonder if there is some design strategy, like, I hate to say stamping because it's almost always terrible looking. But not to go into design detail or how to revise the design, I'm curious about some way to transition the stone into
Yeah.
a solid concrete wall, with reservation that usually very poorly executed.
Yeah.
So this is the house that is on the
Right,
right-hand
right.
side. And this is actually the stone wall that's going to be replaced. And then this is what sort of goes into it. And then.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are examples.
No, but, and so this is like actually like where it's. And then,
Yeah, you don't have a photo of that way.
yeah, no, this is that way.
Sammy's gonna pull one up. We're
Yeah,
gonna
and
pull it
then-
up
and
because
then-
there's two houses there. There's 62 Alcatraz that has a stone wall, a driveway,
Right,
and
yeah.
then more stone. There's also 82
Yeah.
Alcatraz, which is a different style of
Yeah, so
architecture.
this is-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stucco
this
house.
is like, this is their, and then that's like this giant,
the dividing edge, yeah.
yeah.
And
And
look
then,
at this
it's-
one, the one on that one.
Can you zoom-
Yeah,
get
yeah,
over?
but-
This one goes
Sammy,
up,
go,
and then
yeah,
that
Go to
one.
the other side.
It does visually
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
but
it
this-
but-
right, but
extends
this-
the other
right,
property.
right, yeah, but this wall turns into this.
Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely there are examples
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Alcatraz, even on Belvedere Island. I don't
Yeah.
think there are good examples, and I think this is a very nice example that we should not get rid of and replace them with less attractive examples. So,
yeah,
and I hear the applicant about the hardship of it, but when they did this years ago, I don't know when it was done, or there have been many, hardship on Belvedere Island years and years ago, maybe 100 years ago even, when they go through hardship without technology and did it, and now we come with all the technology that we have and we make them worse. I think we should not do that.
But are the stone materials two different materials? I kind of feel like I noticed that there's a slight transition, or does it feel like the exact same stone wrapping up the
No.
driveway and then turning
Yeah.
the corner?
yeah.
Or
so
yeah,
I-
it is,
So I looked at this as a continuation of the neighbor's wall, as really a continuation of what the neighbors had. And,
Adds to that mass that we want to avoid.
oh, it's everywhere else. I mean, I feel like we're holding him to a higher standard than almost every other high wall on Corinthian Island. Like the other examples of the stone walls on Corinthian Island are all low. I mean, I walked around and the other examples of the beautiful stone walls are all a lot lower. And
He
I
has
mean,
a
I
good
agree.
property then.
No,
He has a good one. We shouldn't vote. to
Well, but I mean,
make it
but like-
worse.
But I mean, this wall is failing anyway, but in terms of the larger, taller retaining walls, they're all concrete.
I would say one thing I'd add is it does feel like if you added that solid mass, it would feel much more like it's a part of the other property. So just
Mhm.
purely from, an subjective perspective or from a non-commissioner standpoint, I might look at that and see that as a negative to the property in general, to see that it feels like it actually is more part of the neighboring house than is actually a part of the property that you own. But take that for what it's worth, because it has no bearing, unfortunately, here.
Yeah.
You had a question about whether those.
I'm sorry, can you please go to the mic? Because
Oh,
we
okay.
have to record it for our minutes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
You asked a question that didn't get answered about the materials being different. I don't know exactly the history behind it, but that rock wall that's falling down, it's barely grouted together. They're glued in there with a little bit of grout and there's nothing behind it. But going up the driveway, those are much more rigidly grouted together. And I don't know why that happened or when that occurred, but down at the corner where we're talking about replacing this to, it's different. You can take those things out with your hand. They're not.
It
They're not
does,
grouted.
yeah, like they look like much more round rocks as well. I imagine at different time periods, most likely older. I
Yeah.
wonder, So no matter what, there'll be a transition and there'll be new stone and old stone. So I wonder if there's a way to soften the transition somehow. Maybe there is some architectural way to simplify this so that there's some small extension of the existing rock that you'll keep that maybe transitions into concrete. Maybe it tapers down, or, you know, I've seen it where there's like scattered brick that sort of evaporates into concrete, which I'm not sure I like that personally, but something, I don't know if we could, in terms of putting a condition, can we put a condition that pushes the decision to exactly what design revision is required to the applicant and the planning department, but that there is a condition of approval to revise the design to accommodate the need for the concrete wall to resolve better into, or to resolve the existing stone wall more harmoniously to the new concrete wall?
Yeah, we could, but I think that's why we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, because staff, you know, we had the conversation with the applicant and we were gonna do it as staff level design review, but we thought
Right.
it should be stone. And the applicant, as Sammy said, respectfully asked to come to the planning commission. So I just don't know what that, you know, I don't make concrete walls. Like, I don't know how that design would be figured out, right?
That makes
And
sense.
So we're sort of relying on your expertise to
And if
make a
we,
decision.
We should break out the pencils.
if we vote on this one way or another, they always can come back with new proposal, right? So we don't have to encourage them to come back with a new proposal. Like we can, basically, I'm saying that we can vote for this, be done, and if they don't like it, they can come back with another proposal.
Yes.
Yeah, something.
Going around the corner.
Sure, yeah.
I'm such an artist.
It's in the right direction. I don't think I have any more questions.
Hey, if I could say something else too, if it did get clad with stone, it would probably need to move back 4 inches, which would mean it'd have to get taller, because the slope's pretty steep, so the further it goes into the slope, the taller it has to get to retain the slope, so it'd probably have to grow 4 inches, something, it'd have to get taller in order to deal with that. Okay, I'll sit down.
So I was thinking that.
Yeah, so just turn it like that and
Yeah.
then continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I really like the way it is now, and I think it can be like that. And I'm fine with it being taller to accommodate for the stone in front. I'm really in favor of what staff recommends. And you know, when you mentioned doing the stamp on the concrete and stuff like that, I think also, not only my personal opinion, but also I think Belvedere discouraged that. Belvedere code, the BMC 20.04 140. It says use of concrete block manufactured stone is discouraged. And what you are saying, the stamping is even worse than manufactured stone. So I think it is discouraged, so.
I think they don't actually use the word cheesy in the code.
I'm gonna have to search the database for any variances to know who did it right.
Yeah, I acknowledge the hardship, but I think it is worth keeping the character of the wall and the house.
Okay, so, all right. So moving from the wall to the fence, are we all okay on the fence?
Yes, I have no comments on the fence.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I think we have differing opinions on the wall. So can we split the motion?
I guess I'm not clear on maybe how Commissioner Boutros is leaning.
I mean, I would lean, if anything, to, condition of, yeah, no, I'm with them.
With,
I would,
what does that mean?
meaning I would.
Sounds like Jenna and Azalea have different opinions.
Uh, it's a tough call. I mean, I think. I would be curious to hear whether it's possible to separate out the fence like we're talking about, to see if that's something that could easily be approved tonight and potentially extend the conversation about the retaining wall.
Yeah, certainly the commission has as an option to continue the matter to a future meeting. Obviously, as you know, there's a couple commissioners missing tonight. So certainly, depending what their views are, they could change the outcome of the decision. I'm not sure practically how much we would be really moving the ball down the field if we just approve the fence and not the wall.
I would prefer to make a decision, so that way the homeowner can plan accordingly.
Sure.
I'm concerned. I would wait if it helped my chances at all, but I'm concerned about the integrity of the wall. If it starts raining real hard, that those rocks might fall down, and that'd be a call I don't want to get Saturday night. The rocks are falling out. Even if you're walking your dog, you could hit one, it might fall out on your foot. So I wouldn't want to wait too long.
I appreciate you saying that, because I actually do look at the integrity of that wall in a
Yeah, it's
very
pretty
similar
bad.
light.
So, but I want to get a good answer too. So.
So certainly, if you do want to take it in pieces, I suppose you can do so. But again, it does seem like the applicant wants a decision one way or the other tonight.
Okay, but I guess my question is since we have differing opinions on the wall and the fence, what I'd like to do is split the motion so that we can just approve the fence as proposed without any changes, discussion, et cetera.
Okay.
And then potentially approve the wall with other conditions.
Sure, that would be fine, but I assume that the applicant wants direction on the entire project.
Yes.
But if we
yes,
want to take it in two
yes.
steps, I think that's certainly perfectly fine.
Yes, okay.
Can I ask one more follow-up question?
Sure.
Is the potential for a condition of approval based on, or has it ever been done to add a condition of approval that no immediate neighbors raise red flags to say absolutely not?
Yeah, I think it's always been staff's recommendation not to condition approvals based on neighbors' views.
It's understandable.
Additionally, all the
Yeah.
neighbors receive a notice.
Yeah.
So they've received a notice 20 days prior to the hearing. That's why we do the notice. And we
Yeah.
have not received comment from any neighbors.
Right.
Okay. I think with that, I would look to approve
Okay.
all, just so we're clear.
All right. All right.
As conditioned or?
As conditioned.
All right. So. All right.
It's the comment that I do take to heart about the wall being relatively vulnerable and us actually entering into the rainy season. Is there anything that would prevent from emergency measures necessary to allow the wall to be rebuilt if it were to appear to be close to failing? Is there anything like that that's, if that wall's about to fall, I would assume it falls under other jurisdiction, then they wouldn't have to come back to Planning Commission. They're in an emergency scenario where the wall is like split in half and it just needs to be immediately fixed.
Yes, if there's debris or rocks, if the wall fails, then we would certainly accept some type of temporary measure to shore up that wall and make sure it is safe for people, cars, emergency vehicles to get through.
Well, especially since the road is so narrow to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it up on the island and,
Yeah.
walls fail.
Yeah. All right. I would like to make motion number 1 to adopt a resolution granting design review approval to replace the fence at 62 Alcatraz Avenue with no conditions. Motion,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. All right, and why doesn't someone else make a motion that you want for the wall?
So for the second one, I can do the motion with the conditions. But then, is that okay? Then you.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the conditions?
Yeah, if I may just speak a little to procedure, since we seem to be heading to a 2-1 vote,
Yes.
not to prejudge matters. But to the extent that we are headed to a 2-1 vote, technically the planning commission can approve design review on a 2-1 vote if there are only 3 members present. I do want to just say and caution the commission, just in case this comes up again, it is not the best practice. Even if there are only 3 members present at a meeting, it is always best for at least a majority of the entire membership of the body to vote one way or the other.
All right.
So one other option, although I'm sure it's not the applicant's preference, is to continue this to a future planning commission hearing. I think it is important to the extent that we are making decisions for projects, even relatively minor ones as this one, to provide clear direction from the planning commission.
All
So
right.
you can proceed on the
So-
2-1 vote, but it's certainly not the best practice.
So with that in mind, I think I'm probably going to change the way I was going to vote,
Okay,
with the intention of getting the project moving along, even though I think I would be completely fine with a solid concrete wall that goes along with its neighbors. But since we have 2 members of the planning commission who are missing tonight, because I had not appreciated the fact that with only 2 members, it would not be a quorum of the entire commission. All right, then I'll make the motion. All right. I didn't need to split it after all. Oh, all right. So, motion number 2, I would like to adopt a motion granting design review approval to replace the existing retaining stone wall with the condition that the replacement concrete wall have stone cladding at 62 Alcatraz Avenue.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
and that's 3 ayes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. And that concludes the public hearing portion of our meeting tonight. And I believe that is the end of our agendized materials. And I'd like to call this meeting to order. Thank you. Close the meeting.